How long have you been here?
It was 25 years in August, so something over 25 now.
And what's your current position?
I'm the clinical coordinator for Clark County Comprehensive Care Center.
Now, I've heard that there's a really interesting story about how you landed in Clark County. Why don't you tell us about that?
Okay. Well, actually, it started back in 1973. I was in California, and a friend of mine that I had met there, we had found that we shared a dream to have a bookstore. He had moved to Vermont and invited me to join him, and we would, get into our adventure of having a bookstore together. And so when I left California, I wanted to take the time to see the country because I didn't know when I would ever do that again, which I haven't. But I drove across the country, stopping here and there, stopped in Idaho, Wyoming, and anyway, came here because I had an aunt and uncle that lived in Winchester, and I was going to go from here on to Baltimore, which is where I'm originally from, and then up the coast to Vermont. Well, unfortunately, my plans got a little waylaid because when I was here on Lexington Avenue in Winchester, I was driving it was a 1964 VW Beetle, and I loved that car. But its clutch cable gave out right here on Lexington Avenue. And so I was stopped dead in my tracks. And what I learned in 1973 was that nobody in Winchester worked on foreign cars. Ironic today. But so I had to have it towed to Lexington and had to wait on parts. And while I was waiting, I was walking down Main Street or Lexington Avenue here to the employment office and just popped in and just out of curiosity asked them what kind of positions they had, anything open working with people. And they just so happened to have a social work position coming open that Friday. So I talked with the supervisor, did what I needed to do, and almost cosmically got the position. And I wrote my friend in Vermont and told him, I said, I think I'll stay here about 6 months and see how this works out. And it worked out really well. But I will say one thing. I got a phone call the other day, and they told me that the parts should be in sometime next week.
Well, we're glad it broke down. It worked out good for Bluegrass.
As I tell people, I came here by accident, but stayed with a purpose.